Okay, it is 5:02 PM on Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. We'll call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Smith.
Here.
Daniel.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Matt.
In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on August 27th. Were there any changes or corrections? Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Second.
Motion seconded for the discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. Lisa and Dan approve and I abstain. Next up is street closures. First thing up is the haunted jail, which is scheduled for a lot of dates from September through November. I want to just first of all say thank you to them for getting it to us before they open. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. I don't think there's any changes from the past years, so is there anything, Rosie, that, any concerns? Okay, I didn't hear any concerns from Gary.
And I did get a map, Tom.
Even our fire chief?
Yeah,
Yeah, he said they didn't get a
He's
map.
got
but I
check
did.
marks concerned.
well, that's because there was no map, but Rosie got a map, so she
Oh.
crossed it off, so. I'll make a motion, we approve the haunted jail as requested.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is the street closure for Whitley County Law Enforcement EVO training. And this is something they did, I know, last year, which is kind of close off Tower View from Van Buren to Short Street there and utilize that street as for emergency vehicle operations course for our law enforcement officers. I know one of the things they had put, I think, in the statement there was opportunity for anyone that needs to get to a business or do so after they contact safety officers at Short Street or Van Buren. So there'll be people on both ends and when that course comes to a full safety stop. So they will have individuals there to help with through traffic, if you will, if needed. So I would imagine with State Road 9 being closed, there may be some additional through traffic that is not normal, so. Besides that, any questions?
No, I'll make a motion that we go with the street closing permit for Whitley County Law Enforcement EVO training Sunday, October 6th, 2024, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Tower View from Van Buren to Short Street.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Do you know if he was coming tonight?
No, because, no.
You don't know if he was coming or not? Okay. So we did get an additional street closure request since we're on that topic. Tad Varga's son, Charlie, is getting married. As I understand, there's going to be a portion of the event at their house, which is at the corner of Gates and Park Street. And then they're also having some stuff over at the 4-H grounds. So I will pass this down to you. It is a request. I think it's a 2-hour request of that segment of road. I've told Rosie already, I'm a little on the fence about it personally to shut down a road for a 2-hour time period when the wedding probably will be 30 minutes of that, or, you know, crossing time will be probably an hour or less there. But if it, you know, I think they've had, you said that they've already had conversations with Gary
Yeah.
ahead of time.
Yeah, I think they actually talked to him last meeting and, I was talking to Chris because Gary wasn't here, but he said, yeah,
Wait.
Good God,
they,
that's where
it
the,
shouldn't take long if they just walk down
Yeah.
the street.
Well, I guess my preference personally, if we were going to approve it, my preference would be that we actually do a street closure between where Gates and Park Street go together, as well as
where Forest
Hill,
Parkway-
is it Hill?
well, Forest Parkway comes out here.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is I don't know that this matters as much as this, because my issue is people crossing. So my preference would be, if we're going to close something, we close between Gates and Park, or I'm sorry, Gates and Hill Drive. So
So-
between here and here, so that people can
Oh,
still
okay.
turn up Gates and they can still go this way, but that this segment is what's closed.
Right, okay, gotcha.
And
The red dots are though,
Is that what they requested?
that's
The
what
red-
they kind of requested, as I understand. I think it's a little overkill, just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, so, but here's the thing to me is we still have one other meeting between now and that event. So I think maybe, so my preference would be is we maybe consider or do that between, like I said, Gates and Hill. Send that back and see if it's acceptable for them. And if it's not, then they can be here at the next meeting to talk through the rest of the stuff.
Another thing, because I live here,
Yes.
this road is, you know, if the wedding location is here, this blind curve,
Yeah.
if people are walking across at all,
Well, my hope, I think, well, I was under the impression that they were gonna be crossing here.
Okay.
Cause Tad lives here, and that's where they're going to be having it, cause they has the drive that goes both ways.
right,
His house is
yeah.
here,
Mhm.
right? So I was under the impression that they would be crossing from that property over here.
Okay.
Between these two streets.
my thought is you might use those street areas for parking.
Well,
That would be my assumption, because you.
is that what was
Where to
talked
park.
about? Was that it was
Yeah,
gonna use
a couple
the
of
for parking?
You're probably gonna park on the road.
Not unless they're parking at four, they're going to the 4-H.
Well, if they're going to 4-H, they might be using 4-H as parking.
Put her across there for the wedding and then come over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we
I
need a
guess
little more
more-
clarification.
That's what it sounds like to me as well. So let's, so if you're okay, let's just table it, ask them to be here for the next meeting to talk through that with us.
Yep.
Plus, with Chief Parrott not being here tonight, I think it would be valuable to have him as a part of the conversation as well. So we will table that request, the Varga request, until the next meeting. Next up is the encroachment agreement for 210 North Rosalind,
Yes,
Rosalind Court.
Rosalind Clearman.
Oh, well, there you go. I did not know that. So, name and address and what you'd like to do.
Sure. Doug Fall, I live at 210 North Rosalind Court, and I don't know how much they send over to you, but I've got the map that.
Yes, and we
I
do
sent
have that,
them.
yeah.
Okay. And so what we've got is, we've got plans to put in a pool there. The pool itself will be well within, away from the variance.
Mhm.
And we're not sure if we're gonna go with a 3 or a 5 foot apron. If we go with a 5 foot apron, that's gonna put me 2 feet over.
Okay.
The 20-foot variance there, so I'm just asking for an encroachment agreement upon that. I'm hoping you can see by the layout there that
Mhm.
there's still, if we ever need to put it back in there for any utilities between the 20 feet there on our property, my property, as well as what we have there, that open county area there.
Mhm.
And again, I don't know, can't recall back in the day what the city and the county have, but there's almost, that area there is a 7 foot, 7 acres all told, county easement.
Gotcha.
With that drainage tile through the middle. So I'm hoping that you would allow me to encroach upon that easement by about right around 2 feet.
Okay.
The best we can do.
Okay. Utilities, any issues that you see on the property? Your water's in front. That's our EMC territory, right, Sean? So you don't have anything to say about that?
Fire department's opposed.
Okay.
I'll let you nude sunbathe.
And the community thanks you for that.
Yes. So the decking that you're talking about, that'll be concrete, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So usually what we say is if it's a fence or something, we say, well, we'll take it down, but you gotta put it back up. But with this, you can't really.
Well, I mean.
So if for some reason we do have utilities under there and for some
I-
strange reason we have to dig up the concrete, we will try to do it to the best of our ability. It will be on you to,
That's on me.
to repair.
And again, and to be quite frank, I may not even use that 2 feet.
Okay.
Because of the slope.
Oh, yeah.
But just, I wanted
Just
to
in
be
case.
safe than sorry.
That makes
If we decided to go with the 5 foot apron there, it would encroach the 2 feet.
Gotcha, okay.
So, but I totally understand, you know, having sat on that side, if utilities need to get in there,
Yes.
when I bought the property, I knew I had that easement there, and certainly understand why it's there.
Sure. Questions from the board? I'll make a motion, we approve the encroachment agreement for 210 North Rosalind Court as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Rosie, tell Mr. Fall what's next.
Okay, so I will get this back to the planning tomorrow.
Okay.
And then you can go back over there and finish up.
Sure, we'll go over there and get that recorded and get it all set. Say, thank you very much. I love the room, what you guys have done.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Judge. Have a good day.
You too.
See you soon.
And have that removed for me.
Next up is pay application for S&S directional boring. Mike Cook is not here tonight, but he did tell me he does recommend payment on this. They are moving very swiftly on this project, as I understand, so a lot of good things are happening there. In fact, hold on a second, let me
Yeah,
pull
we
up
can
this.
actually get down the road now.
Yeah, can you now? That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
they got it all sealed up and,
So, in his biweekly report, he did tell me project is fully in operation, pipe is in, and asphalt went down today. So I don't know how far, but Rosie's excited for them to be done.
yeah.
So, any questions regarding the application for payment? I'll make a motion, we approve the contractor's application for payment with project number 14090 in the amount of $447,774.30.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is the Westgate Subdivision Roadway Reconstruction Phase 2 from Pulver Asphalt Paving. Chip?
They've been through the engineers, ringers, and my ringers, so I approve them to get paid.
Okay. And we have two of these.
We don't have it on our Dropbox, sorry.
Okay. So
Get it.
the first one is pay request number 5, correct? 5 is the first one?
Yes.
Pay request number 5, I make a motion that we approve pay request number 5 in the amount of $303,674.12 to Pulver Asphalt Paving.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. I'll also make a motion. Is this pay request number 2?
Yeah, what the difference is, this is pay request number 2, which is 100% city.
Okay.
This is the community.
Oh, that's community crossings. Gotcha. I'll make a motion. We approve pay request number 2 for Pulver Asphalt Paving in the amount of $240,116.14.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up are fees for itinerant merchant permit. Rosie.
Okay, the ordinance that you have there, number 17, will be on the agenda for the council tonight for final. And it's, according to this, the Board of Works sets the fees. And so Sally and I kind of came up with these fees that they have to pay, which the Board of Works has to approve those.
So, and this just mirrors what's already happening with non-food mobile vendors, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, Lisa, for your information, what kind of came from this, how this came up was, we passed, the city council passed the mobile non-food vendors and the mobile food vendor ordinances. And then we had a bunch of pop-up tents pop up around the city. And they do not fall under either of those two things. And so this kind of covers that gap, if you will, that really should be covered by the mobile non-food vendors, but it's kind of outside of that. So that's what that's for.
Okay.
So the fees that are on here
Is what we're.
mirror the mobile non-food vendors, correct? Okay. Any questions regarding that? Make a motion that we approve the fee schedule for, I guess it'd be what, itinerant merchants?
Yes.
Okay, for itinerant merchants, in these following amounts. $25 for, $15 daily, $25 for a week, and $60 for a month. There's no 6 month.
No.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, motion seconded. Further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Feel like I'm forgetting something I was supposed to talk about. Oh, I know. In your Dropbox, there is an engineering cost reimbursement agreement with Chicago, Fort Wayne, and Eastern Railroad.
Last document.
Should be the very last document. Yeah, very last one.
Oh, good, right.
Chip, you want to talk about it?
So since we had a lot of hurdles in front of us with Blue River Trail, we're getting no response back from the railroad. All of a sudden, last week, we get ready, put everything out for bid, start advertising. The railroad now has came to the table, so this is, the $35,000 is for them to start engineering what we've already engineered, but just to improve our engineering to get the trail to cross the railroad.
I will say in talking with many of my colleagues across the state, this is very standard. And they're quick to remind people that their railroads were here before our streets were. So with that, I appreciate that they have been,
Yes,
they
at
seem to
least
have
they're
worked well
responsive.
so far. So any questions regarding the agreement? And Marcia, you have looked at this and approved, correct? Okay.
And I said about the same thing you did.
I was like, just
This
look
is-
at it.
This is about as boilerplate as you're going to find, let's say it that way. So I'll make a motion that we approve the engineering cost reimbursement agreement with Chicago, Fort Wayne, and Eastern Railroad as presented.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you.
Well, you gotta pay them for something. They're just gonna take what you already got.
Couldn't wait 10 minutes till we turn off the camera, Okay. Let's go to
Dan, I can tell you more after the camera's off.
let's go to bills.
All right. I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $1,285,991.55 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 9/10/24 for checks.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $375,745.18 for the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 9/10/24 for EFT payments.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
And I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $284,172.79, plus overtime in the amount of $7,875.74, for a total of $292,048.53 for the pay file ending 8/23/24.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Rose, do you have anything else that we need to talk about? Department head reports. Chip.
Westgate is wrapping up. They've got the surface layer of asphalt to put in. We've got to put in stop signs, whatnot, street lights, but it is wrapping up their grading yards right now. Eagle Park, the swing got installed. We're having a construction meeting tomorrow to go over some stuff. They're getting ready to stripe the pickleball courts. Trails will be awarded. It's out being advertised right now. It'll be awarded October 14th. Test kitchen, shared kitchen is moving along quickly. Hopefully we get a contract signed so we can get everything wrapped up. I think that's it.
Questions of Chip? Chip, we are planning to have a opening or ribbon cutting for
Yes.
the pickleball courts and the swings soon, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You know I'm big on those, so yeah.
Mike?
The filters are starting to come back to life, I guess, or whatever. We're using less chlorine, or hopefully using less in the next week or so. We've been doing we've had 5 new surfaces hooked up and got 2 more to do.
Sorry, 5 new services and what? What'd you say?
2 more to do.
2 more to do, okay. Questions of Mike? Thank you. Thomas?
Well, I come with good news this evening. Our breathing air system, our breathing air compressor that we use to fill up our air tanks got fixed today. The Plymouth vent system, the exhaust system in the firehouse got fixed today. 102 was returned for, Adam got it finished up yesterday. I'd like to give him a shout out, by the way, of nice job. He stuck with it and figured out it was all grounding issues on the whole daggone thing and a battery, I'll call it a bus bar issue, and he figured it all out and got it back to us, and I'm feeling very confident in that. The rooftop air conditioner on the firehouse also went out. I spoke with, gave Rosie 2 quotes, and we elected to have Van Plumbing and Heating be the one that replaces the air conditioner on top of the firehouse. So we spoke with Brad Van today, and they've got the unit in, and they'll be getting a crane around to come put that back on the firehouse and get our air conditioner going. 101's generator is still not functional, but the parts are in. Adam's got to get caught back up with some other repairs that other city departments have had, and he's going to get that generator up and going for us as well. I think that's it.
Questions of Tom? Thank you, Tom. Matt?
Dugouts got started to be ripped down on fields 1 and 2 to get ready for the new cinder block ones that'll be going up hopefully this fall. I'm still in contact with the mason on those. We rented a mini excavator with a mulcher attachment on it, and we're going down the riverbank currently and getting rid of some old dead trees, mulching them up, and making it so that you can actually see into the river. Because in the springtime, there's a lot of wildlife that goes up and down that. It's really pretty nice to see.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just day-to-day stuff.
Questions of Matt? Thank you. Sean?
So Osmos is completed with pole testing, so we're gonna start here in the next couple of weeks replacing the poles that tested bad. I think we're up to 148 total poles that will need replaced, so we'll start working on that. The Rolling Hills, Jefferson Street, Arcturus project that we were doing is complete. We've seeded and strawed most of that. All the overhead has been eliminated on our part, so it's all feeding underground at this point, so Rosie shouldn't have any more squirrels taking her power out. We did transition over to Cul-de-sac Avenue, and we're burying all that backyard overhead behind all those lots, and once we're done with that, we're gonna transition into pole testing, or pole changing, I mean. So, moving right along on that, I have Angie and Jason Buckles are in Brownstown, Indiana, with some TuneIt, which is the software we use for AMI metering training. They came out with a new update for their TuneIt system, so they're down learning on how to use that, and we're sending our mechanic to Illinois Wednesday of this week, tomorrow I believe. He's gonna do some bucket truck repair training, so we've been looking for that for a couple
Could
of
be
years.
valuable.
Yeah, we've been looking for that, but I mean, he never has time to work on our trucks because he's always working on fire trucks, so. Other than that, just guys are working away.
Questions of Sean? Thank you, Sean. Anna, do you want to introduce yourself? Talk about your academy and your grade and what we did at youth council.
Okay, yeah, so I'm Anna Lordy, and I'm a sophomore at ETA, which is, it's an extension of Columbia City. And what was the other one?
Just what we did at youth council.
Okay, yeah, so it was our first meeting, so we did introductions, we got to know each other a little bit. Huh? Oh, I said I'm Anna.
Oh, I missed it.
So we did icebreakers, which was a scavenger hunt around town to take pictures of different businesses, and then we did towers with gumdrops and straws, which was kind of team building. And then we went over rules and expectations for each other, so we did students to students, students to leaders, and leaders to students. And then after that, we brainstormed service projects to what we want to get done throughout the year. And we had 21 ideas total, but then we decided on our top 3. And then after that, we talked about what's happening in the city, what's going on, the projects that are happening. And then we elected leaders for president, vice president, and secretary. And then we had lunch with the department heads, and then we wrapped up with a service project at the city signs.
Questions? Thank you, ma'am. Marcia?
Well, embarrassingly, I have nothing after that. I feel bad, you're so busy. I've got nothing.
Rosie,
Nothing.
a couple of things. I have some different reports here. Terry said that they have equipment ordered for the fiber project at both the test kitchen and Eagle Park. He's starting the process of upgrading 5 different servers that are at end of life, and they're close to finishing the upgrades to the street department's Granite software, which they use to televise the sewer lines. Mike Cook is waiting. They're waiting on the new lift station panels. Break room remodel is complete now, and as I mentioned earlier, Jefferson and Main Street Force Main is, the Jefferson and Main Force Main project is fully operational. They are still awaiting the modified NPDES permit from IDEM regarding reducing the cyanide testing. And the 600 East pump base replacement project started today and started last Tuesday and was completed on Friday. Let's see if there's anything else. They're having some issues with the sludge tank and some of the mixing and stuff happening there. And I think that's all for that. Kelly had said that they've been working on getting the new 1-ton trucks that they got from Enterprise and the salt boxes going in them, getting ready for kind of winter season. They are busy with, before they get busy with leaf pickup, because that is right around the corner, surprisingly. They did need to change some hose fittings and weld some new tailgate fasteners to each box. They also had a person inspecting sanitary sewer lines out at Timber's Edge, the new subdivision, or the new phase of the subdivision out there happening, and they do have a person in the sweeper, since we finally got it back from Brown Equipment Company. So, let's see what I got. Anything else I need to share here? A couple of things maybe for your information. First is the solid waste board meeting was on Monday, and they had the tire collection thing. It went well. I think they collected somewhere around 1,000 tires, but we actually have a capacity of 3,000 to collect. So if individuals have tires that they want to get rid of, they can still, if they're a Whitley County resident, they can still deliver those to the Whitley County Recycling Center. They did ask to call ahead, but mainly that's when they're starting to get toward the end of toward the 3,000 number, let's say it that way. So they got plenty of capacity still left in there. Let's see. Happy birthday yesterday, Lisa.
Thank you.
And homecoming.
Yes, again.
Homecoming parade is happening on Friday night. The normal, I guess, route, if you will. Next Monday, Wayne TV is broadcasting from Columbia City, both the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock time frames. I think they are going to be highlighting Eagle Park in a portion of that. They'll be broadcasting from the gazebo, I believe, for a portion as well. So it'd be nice to have them in town showing off the good parts, and a good reason for them to be in Columbia City. So that's good. That's good stuff. Chip. I've not let Chip get in front of that camera. So.
The hands, the thick tongue. I don't know why.
And maybe the last thing I'll say at this moment is that the Great Lakes Shrine Association is having their big parade. It's a really big deal. It doesn't happen very often, and because I'll call him the big cheese. I don't know what is it the potentate? Okay, so Jerry Freewall is that position, and so they're having some events in Fort Wayne. I think they're having something at at the high school. But they are having the big parade here in Columbia City, the normal Old Settlers route from basically on Main Street from north down to Ellsworth, and that is at noon on Saturday the 21st. So obviously we're trying to get as many people out there to support it. It's a big deal to show off Columbia City, And we appreciate that they had chosen Columbia City to be the place for that parade. CIP committee is after, did you know that?
I did not.
Oh, I swear you were on my email.
I heard it, so, no.
I can say that's no problem.
Did I send something? I'm sorry. CIP committee meeting is after council tonight. I apologize, Lisa.
No problem.
I must not have included you. I apologize, so. Okay, that's all I got. Dan?
Plan Commission approved two-lot subdivision off of Gates Road called Poverty Knob.
Yes.
The discussion was about sidewalks, but really, we put a sidewalk out there, it goes to nowhere. So that was the one time we said, no, you
Yep.
don't have to do a sidewalk
Yeah.
out there.
I think I did actually watch the plan commission meeting on YouTube last night, so, and I think it was a smart move. It's hard to tell someone to go put in sidewalks that on both sides of the property, there's nothing it leads to. You know, it's different than, let's say, the car wash, for instance, where it was leading from one side at least, but with that, it's so far away from everything
Well,
else.
we recognize that's dangerous out there,
Yeah.
because I've seen people walking on North Street and going on the Gates, and there's limited area
Yeah.
for walking, but at the
Yeah.
same time, yeah.
How do you ask somebody to pay thousands of dollars for a sidewalk that nobody around them has?
So, Chip was the main leader on that one, so.
Main leader or ring leader?
Ring leader.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Lisa,
Nope.
we have no audience and no press, so we will call the meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.